Well, it's time now for the business news, and we can say good morning to Brian Quinn.
Hello, Delano.
Now, you're starting out with a big story over the last 24 hours, of course, Snap's IPO.
Yeah, the first day of trading is over for Snap, the parent company of image-sharing app Snapchat, and those shares definitely popped. They opened at $17 and closed at $24.48. That's a one-day 44% jump. It values the company at over $28 billion, on par with giants like CBS and Target. The company's principals definitely happy with that result, but not everyone is so thrilled. Some residents in Snap's adopted hometown of Venice, California, came out Thursday to protest changes in their neighborhood as the so-called Silicon Beach takes off.
Snapchat's been growing like a cancer here. They're just invading all the nooks and crannies. They're even bleeding onto the boardwalk. They're really affecting the artist community. And if they just stay within the office type buildings, that'd be one thing, but they're not.
And here in Europe, Brian, a big car manufacturer, merger rather, looks like it may finally be happening.
Yeah, that's right. French automaker PSA is reportedly closing in on a deal to buy General Motors' Opel and Vauxhall units. PSA is expecting the deal to save it 2 billion euros in costs. If successful, the French company, which already owns Peugeot and Citroën, would become Europe's second largest automaker. But the complexity of talks could lead to some roadblocks. Anke Uhle explains.
Hoping to attract new customers and quickly achieve cost savings, the head of PSA Auto Group is nearing a deal to add 2 new European brands to its lineup. Carlos Tavares hopes to unveil the acquisition of GM's German Opel and British Vauxhall brands on the eve of the Geneva Auto Show next week. But a few sticking points could delay negotiations and have some European employees fearing job cuts are in their future. First is the question of who will shoulder GM's European pensions deficit. Analysts put the number between 8 and 10 billion euros, with Opel bearing the brunt of it. A second point of contention is GM's demands for what they call non-compete agreements. The American company has been pressing for a deal to bar legacy Opel models for markets including China, Russia, and Latin America. While France, Germany, and the UK have signed off on the deal, employees are biting their nails over possible cuts. Opel employs 35,600 people across Europe, more than 18,000 of them in Germany, and Vauxhall has 4,500 employees in the UK. The PSA Group already owns French car brands Peugeot and Citroën.
So, Brian, has there been any effects on the market so far?
Well, that news was good for GM on Wall Street yesterday, but European shares are opening in the red this morning. The FTSE 100 down around 0.3, same for the CAC 40. The Frankfurt DAX down 0.5%. Asian shares also slumping a bit. The Nikkei down around 0.5%. Shanghai around 0.3. The Hang Seng is down around 0.7, and the Kospi down over 1%. Let's take a look at some more of today's business headlines. Chinese state-owned chemical company ChemChina is nearing EU approval for its acquisition of Swiss agribusiness conglomerate Syngenta. The merger will cost ChemChina around 41 billion euros. That'll be the largest foreign acquisition by a Chinese company. The European regulators had feared the merger could threaten competition, but concessions by the Chinese firm appear to have assuaged those concerns. American heavy machinery maker Caterpillar has had their headquarters raided by U.S. federal agents. The company confirmed that 3 U.S. agencies had searched their facilities as part of an ongoing tax investigation involving a subsidiary in Switzerland. Caterpillar shares fell over 4% Thursday on that news. And Nintendo is launching its new hybrid portable gaming console, the Switch, today. The video game giant has a lot riding on the new release. It's hoping that the console can reverse its recent hardware misses. The Wii U, launched in 2012, was Nintendo's worst-selling console in company history.
Now, Brian, you're finishing up with a very expensive lesson on the importance of, well, careful typing, something I'm very bad at.
Well, it's a very expensive lesson, Delano. Perhaps you remember earlier this week when an outage at Amazon's cloud services unit knocked out traffic to a significant portion of the internet. Well, Amazon has tracked down the cause of Tuesday's outage, and they say it's human error, specifically a typo. Apparently, an employee at the company's Northern Virginia data center mistyped a command intended to take just a few servers offline. That command instead triggered a massive wave of server failures that took hours to fix. The outage is estimated to have cost $150 million to S&P 500 companies. Now, Amazon says it's implementing new safeguards to prevent a repeat of that.
That's one expensive typo, huh?
It's an expensive typo. Now, you put me behind a French keyboard, it get a lot worse than that.
You live here long enough, you get used to it, trust me. Brian Quinn with Business, thank you very much.